Alright, so today is a highly requested video. Everybody seems to have an opinion on this. Swiss chocolate vs. Belgian chocolate. Who really wins? We're going to settle it once and for all. We're going to take a look at the history of each country, their techniques, what they're exporting to the world, and ultimately do a blind taste test to see which one really comes out on top. It is gonna be epic. Do you know your own chocolate history? Well, test your knowledge with our quick quiz. The first European to set foot in New Zealand was a Dane, right? Wrong. And the Vikings weren't actually the first Europeans in New York. Want to learn more about European exploration? Well, then check out the full video and see how many you get right. Alright, let's do this. So let's get them out of the way. First, how much chocolate do they eat per capita? Switzerland's per capita chocolate consumption is still among the world's highest. Recent industry figures show Swiss domestic per capita chocolate consumption around 10.911 kilos per year. That's roughly a large chocolate bar every day during the year for each person. Meanwhile, Belgium's per capita consumption is lower, but still impressive. Industry sources put Belgians at around 5.56 kilos per year. That's a bit less than half of what Swiss eat annually. And now you know why we say Switzerland versus Belgium. Next, let's talk history. Who invented what? We've got to give it to the Swiss. They pioneered two big technical leaps: milk chocolate and conching. That's the process invented by Rodolphe of Lindt in 1879 that makes chocolate ultra smooth. The technique helped make Swiss bars melt in your mouth and become synonymous with creaminess. Meanwhile, Belgium's claim to fame is the praline. Jean Neuhaus II is generally credited with inventing the filled praline in 1912, and his family created the famous Ballotine gift box to protect them. Speaking of the praline, did you know there's a praline museum located in Brussels, Belgium? Founded by the heirs to the Neuhaus family, the museum chronicles the history of the praline and its place in Belgian culture. Visitors can learn about the evolution of the praline from its invention in the early 20th century to its status as a beloved Belgian souvenir today. The museum also features a gift shop where visitors can purchase pralines and other chocolate treats. I would love to go there someday. If you have been, let me know in the comments. Okay, let's move on. Now technique equals taste. What makes each country's chocolate different? Swiss chocolate tends to emphasize creaminess, more milk, conching time, and a velvety mouth feel. Belgian chocolate often emphasizes higher cocoa percentages and filled chocolates, the iconic pralines, with stronger cocoa aromas and bolder flavors. In short, Swiss equals smooth and Belgian equals rich and praline-centric. So what does each country sell to the world? And are they big exporters? Belgium is a heavyweight exporter. Recent trade data lists Belgium among the top global chocolate exporters by value. Switzerland also exports large volumes, but the two economies are different. Belgium is a major industrial exporter. Huge volumes come from companies and cocoa processors. Switzerland mixes global luxury brands with a high domestic consumption and sizable export value as well. And now it's time for the moment you've been waiting for, the blind taste test. Here's a simple, replicable setup you can run on camera. 6 samples, 3 Swiss, 3 Belgian. Palate cleansers, water, bread, randomized order, and a 1 to 10 scale for aroma, melt, balance, and aftertaste. We'll test Kraft single origin pralines, classic Swiss milk bars, and a dark Belgian bar. Our tasters were divided. Some picked a silky Swiss milk bar as the most pleasurable, while others loved the intense Belgian dark or praline for complexity. Bottom line, no unanimous winner. Swiss won in melt and smoothness categories, while Belgian scored higher for cocoa intensity and creative fillings. This mirrors decades of chocolate debate. Preference depends on what you value. Do either of these countries have special regulations for their chocolate? In Belgium, the chocolate sector is heavily regulated by the industry's self-regulating body, the Comité Spécial du Chocolat Belge. The organization has established strict guidelines for the production and labeling of chocolates sold in the country. These guidelines ensure that only high-quality ingredients are used and that the chocolate meets certain standards of purity and authenticity. One of the most important regulations set forth by the committee is the requirement that real cocoa butter be used in the manufacture of chocolate. Additionally, the committee requires that all chocolate sold in Belgium must contain at least 35% cocoa solids. These regulations help to ensure that Belgian chocolate maintains its reputation for quality and excellence. And they have a very cool-looking code that looks like this. Meanwhile, the Swiss chocolate industry emphasizes dairy quality and conching standards. Those long, slow conching times help achieve that signature melt in your mouth texture. Now, in terms of Swiss regulations, there isn't any legally mandated minimum percentage of cocoa required for something to be called Swiss chocolate. However, industry standards dictate that Swiss chocolate contains a minimum of 35% cocoa. Moreover, Swiss chocolate makers adhere to strict quality guidelines and regulations set forth by the Swiss Chocolate Code. The code ensures that Swiss chocolate is made exclusively from high-quality ingredients and that it meets certain standards of excellence and authenticity. Healthier options? Well, there are sugar-free and vegan options available from many manufacturers, but I wouldn't expect those to meet the traditional flavor profiles of Swiss or Belgian chocolate. Okay, now for the big question, what should you choose? If you love creamy melt and nostalgia, go Swiss. If you crave dark intensity and artisanal fillings, go Belgian. If you're shopping for gifts or travel souvenirs, Belgian pralines and ballotines are showstoppers, but Swiss bars are the everyday comfort food that people around the world recognize. So who really wins? The real winner? The consumer. Competition between Switzerland and Belgium pushed chocolate craft forward. Conching, pralines, packaging, and global trade. There's no single best chocolate, only different pleasures. So, taste widely, judge for yourself, and start a friendly argument in the comments. Alright, thanks for watching. Please leave us a like, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts and feelings about this. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious.